While European policymakers debate tariffs and traditional legacy brands struggle to keep pace with modern electric demands, a quiet seismic revolution is sweeping across the United Kingdom motoring landscape. One of China's largest automotive powerhouses, Chery Automobile, has officially declared its intent to cement its footprint on British soil in a way that goes far beyond merely shipping cars across the ocean. The parent giant behind rapidly growing global brands such as Omoda and JQ is opening a brand new, dedicated research and development centre of excellence right in the heart of Bedfordshire. This is not simply a glorified regional sales office or a shiny showroom in central London. Chery is embedding its core engineering operations at UTAC Milbrook, a legendary high-security vehicle testing facility historically used by the global motor industry and the British Ministry of Defence. This aggressive expansion into UK research and development signals a dramatic shift in how foreign automakers view the British market. No longer content with treating Britain as merely an export destination, the Chinese automotive giant is building local capability, tailoring its vehicles to UK roads and exploring domestic vehicle production that could fundamentally transform British manufacturing for decades to come. Setting up a standalone engineering centre at UTAC Milbrook is a masterstroke of localised automotive development. Situated roughly 8 miles south of Bedford, Milbrook is world-renowned for its gruelling test tracks, high-speed banking, alpine handling courses, and extreme climate chambers. For generations, it has been the proving ground where British chassis dynamics, steering precision, and suspension setups are refined. By establishing its R&D Centre of Excellence on these historic grounds, Chery gains direct, continuous access to elite engineering expertise and world-class testing environments. The company explicitly stated that this facility will be used to validate and tailor vehicles to the distinct driving conditions of the United Kingdom. British roads present a notoriously brutal environment for vehicle engineers, featuring uneven asphalt, deep potholes, narrow country lanes, wet B roads, and unpredictable weather conditions. Vehicles tuned solely for smooth, wide overseas highways often feel overly harsh, floating, or uninspired on British tarmac. Chery is making a direct statement to British motorists. They intend to engineer vehicles that ride, handle, and perform specifically for the UK driver. This strategic investment in Bedfordshire comes on the heels of an astonishing commercial performance that has caught the traditional British car market entirely off guard. In the space of just a few short years, Chery has transitioned from a relatively obscure overseas newcomer to a formidable domestic contender. Its Omoda and JQ brands were launched in the UK market in late 2024 and early 2025, making an immediate splash on forecourts across England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Shortly after, Chery began selling vehicles under its own flagship name and is currently in the process of introducing a fourth brand, known as Le Pas. Much like its major Chinese rival BYD, Chery's growth trajectory in Britain has been nothing short of explosive. Nowhere is this market disruption more evident than in the phenomenal success of the JQ 7 SUV. When the vehicle first arrived on British shores, it was derided by some traditional motoring critics and rival executives as a cheap imitation or a Temu Range Rover. However, British car buyers faced with rising living costs, high interest rates, and inflated showroom prices from legacy brands voted decisively with their wallets. The JQ7 defied its detractors to become the third best-selling car in the entire United Kingdom during the 6 months leading up to the end of June 2026. British motorists embraced its blend of striking design, premium interior technology, robust build quality, and accessible pricing that traditional European legacy manufacturers have increasingly priced out of reach for ordinary working families. Yet, Chery's ambition for the United Kingdom extends far beyond engineering facilities in Bedfordshire and impressive showroom sales figures. In what could prove to be one of the most significant industrial developments for British manufacturing in recent history, Chery is actively exploring the possibility of building its cars directly inside the United Kingdom. The Chinese company is currently in advanced discussions with Japanese manufacturing giant Nissan regarding a potential contract manufacturing agreement. The two automotive giants signed a non-binding memorandum of understanding in June, with Nissan actively investigating whether it could utilize spare production line capacity at its massive historic manufacturing complex in Sunderland to assemble vehicles on Chery's behalf. If this contract manufacturing deal reaches fruition, it would mark a historic turning point for the UK automotive sector. Nissan's Sunderland plant has long been regarded as the crown jewel of British vehicle manufacturing, renowned for its incredible efficiency and highly skilled workforce in the northeast of England. However, shifting global market dynamics and changing consumer demand have left assembly lines with available capacity. For Nissan, building Chery's vehicles under contract would maximize factory utilization, protect thousands of skilled local jobs, and generate vital revenue. For Chery, assembling vehicles in Sunderland would bypass potential international trade barriers, streamline logistics, and grant their lineup an authentic British-built manufacturing credential. If you are finding this deep dive into the changing landscape of the British motoring industry valuable, please take a quick moment right now to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. The commercial metrics behind Chery's UK expansion underscore just how rapidly the landscape is changing. Last year, the Chery Automotive Group sold 53,600 cars across the United Kingdom. In 2026, the company is firmly on track to comfortably exceed that landmark figure. To put that growth into perspective, many established European and Asian legacy brands took decades to achieve similar sales volumes in the UK market. Chery has accomplished this feat in a fraction of the time, capitalizing on a shifting automotive market where brand loyalty is increasingly taking a back seat to value for money, generous warranty packages, and immediate vehicle availability. The UK market has become uniquely attractive for international brands like Chery, particularly when contrasted with the current regulatory environment in continental Europe. While the European Union has moved to implement protective countervailing tariffs on Chinese-built electric vehicles to shield its domestic manufacturers, the United Kingdom government chose not to follow suit, maintaining a standard 10% import tariff. Combined with Britain's strict zero-emission vehicle mandate, which forces manufacturers to meet escalating electric sales percentages each year, the UK has effectively opened its doors to competitive, feature-rich foreign models. Unburdened by outdated legacy factory conversions and possessing fully integrated domestic battery supply chains, Chinese manufacturers can import petrol, hybrid, and electric vehicles into Britain at price points that traditional European and British car makers struggle to match without incurring heavy financial losses. The new Research and Development Centre at UTAC Milbrook also signals that Chery is planning a deep, long-term technological commitment to the United Kingdom. Chief Executive of Chery International UK, Gary Lan, noted that the company waited over 20 years for the right time to enter the British market, emphasising that their vision was always far broader than simply shipping vehicles overseas. Local capability, engineering integration, and regional adaptation are becoming the core foundation of their global expansion strategy. Over time, the Bedfordshire facility is expected to expand far beyond routine chassis tuning and suspension testing. Chery plans to use the Milbrook site to drive forward advanced research in cutting-edge disciplines such as autonomous driving, artificial intelligence, connected vehicle software, and next-generation battery integration. By establishing high-tech engineering routes in Bedfordshire and potentially securing manufacturing capacity in Sunderland, Chery is systematically dismantling the traditional arguments used against overseas vehicle brands. In the past, foreign newcomers were often criticised for lacking local spare parts networks, having unrefined ride qualities suited only for smooth overseas highways, or offering clunky infotainment systems poorly translated for British drivers. By tuning vehicles at Milbrook and building a robust dealer network across the UK, Chery is ensuring its vehicles feel thoroughly native to the British motoring public. When a car is designed with global technology, validated on Bedfordshire test tracks, and potentially built by British workers in Sunderland, the boundary between a foreign importer and a domestic car maker becomes almost entirely invisible. This aggressive moves by Chery and its rivals pose a profound strategic dilemma for traditional European, Japanese, and American legacy brands selling in the UK. For decades, legacy carmakers relied on established brand heritage, dealer network dominance, and strong resale values to justify higher purchase prices. Today, as high inflation squeezes household budgets and electric vehicle technology levels the playing field, British consumers are demonstrating that they care far more about modern interior technology, real-world efficiency, comprehensive warranties, and affordable monthly finance payments than the badge on the radiator grille. If traditional manufacturers cannot find a way to reduce their production costs and match the feature-packed value offered by newcomers, they risk losing massive market share in one of Europe's most lucrative car markets. The arrival of Chery's R&D Centre of Excellence in Bedfordshire and its potential manufacturing partnership in Sunderland mark the beginning of a transformative era for British motoring. It represents a bold vote of confidence in the United Kingdom's automotive engineering talent, testing infrastructure, and manufacturing capability at a time of global economic uncertainty. However, it also serves as a stark wake-up call to the entire motoring industry. The transition toward modern mobility is no longer just about where a vehicle company was founded, but where it invests, where it engineers, and how well it understands the everyday driver on British roads. As Chery builds root and branch infrastructure across the United Kingdom, will traditional legacy car makers be forced to slash their prices to stay competitive? Or will British drivers fully embrace Chinese-engineered and British-built vehicles as the new standard on UK roads? What are your thoughts on Chery setting up a major research centre in Bedfordshire and potentially building cars in Sunderland? And would you consider buying a JQ, Omoda or Chery for your next family car? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us keep the conversation going.